We now go with Aritz. Zorzano says, my name is Aritz and I'm a 3D student who wants to become a 3D character artist in the video game industry. Thank you for your time and I look forward to your review. Let's take a look. Okay, first thing that I say right here, Aritz, and it's immediately jumping, is the fact that you are only doing fan art. And fan art is really good. We've talked about this. Fan art is nice, it really helps. But the problem with fan art is that unless you can beat or match the skill of what has been done professionally for the productions that they've been used, it's just gonna be working against you. So first advice, before I even take a look at your stuff, for your next project, try to pick a concept that has not been done before. Very important, okay? Try to do that. Let's take a look now at the technical stuff. So you're a little bit too dense there on the eye, man. Remember that when we're talking about topology, there's always a balance between the loops and stuff like that. I'm not sure, is this manually retopo or did you use Siri Mesher? Because it does seem to have some like manual retopology, but I do feel like it's a little bit too dense here on the underside of the eye. I understand why you did it, because maybe when you close the eye you're gonna have more space, but it's a little bit too much. And again, this is not something that I love, to be honest. You only did the head. It's gonna be complicated, and again, I'm sorry that I'm picking on you specifically, Aritz, but this is something that I see very, very commonly in portfolios. Floating heads, like, you're not gonna find a position in a studio that says we're hiring someone to do floating heads for us. It's very, very like complicated. There might be a couple of projects, for instance, like FIFA and Maiden and all that stuff. They do a lot of like portrait and head work because they just switch the uniforms around. But for most of the things, you do need to show that you know how to do the full character. Okay, your anatomy is not bad. It's definitely a little bit stylized, right? A little bit cartoony, but the anatomy is good. It's looking good. So I'm gonna get a little bit. Okay, cool. We have a full character here, so that gives me a little bit more hope. But let's see. Not bad. Again, let's tone down the effects on this one so that we can really appreciate the character. That one's important. Grassetti gives that example. What example? To just do the heads of the characters, or do fan arts? Okay, topology is fine. Get a little bit dark on the renders. It's difficult to appreciate. I feel like the suit is a little bit shiny, but that might be a personal preference of mine. I like a flatter looking elements. It looks a little bit old. Like the wrinkles here might be a little bit too intense. Yeah, but it's Grassetti, right? Like, he has done full characters, a lot of full characters for a long time. So he has earned that sort of like we can say that he has earned that a specific situation, because no one's gonna question whether or not he can do a full character. The problem that I see in a lot of portfolios is that they only do heads and floating heads and fan arts, so that's why it becomes a little bit tricky. This is a good project, man. I like this one, and the fact that you were able to pose it, that's great. A character artist design, Will Baba, is someone who does the full character. You need to know sculpting, you need to know retopo, you need to know textures, you need to know a little bit of shading, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people want to skip that part. So my advice on this one is maybe just touch up on the textures a little bit, because a lot of the areas for the suit look very uniform, and it's again a little bit difficult to appreciate the work you did with textures in this or like very foggy scene. So doing a cleaner render, Aritz, and you might want to check this one right here. This one's free. It's the portfolio presentation workshop. So if you were to present the Batman on a very clean like setup, like the ones that we have with this Canon, I think it would look very, very nice, and it will be a stronger piece. And now let's take a look at Kratos. Nice, another full character. Again, another fan art. And the problem with the fan art is that people are going to look at your Kratos and they're going to be like, oh, it's not as good as Grassetti's, right? And that's one of the worst things that you can have, like, be compared to someone that's really, really good, because of course they're going to prefer the one that did the better job. But this is not bad, actually. Like, this is really, really good. Like, I think you did a great job on this one. It's a great result. Good topology, good deformation, good anatomy. Even the hair cards look quite nice. I'm gonna give you the best, or one of the best advices that I can give you, my friend. Use the techniques that you did right here, but do another one. So instead of picking Kratos, I know you picked Kratos because you thought Kratos is very cool, and I agree. I also think Kratos is really, really cool. But your portfolio would have been stronger. Like, all of the time that you spent on that Kratos would have been stronger if you had picked something like this character right here. Because no one has done this one, probably, right? Or if you picked, I don't know, like this one right here. That kind of looks like 3D though, so maybe it's something. Usually, I prefer to pick things that are not or have not been done in 3D, and I know you could have pulled it off. I know that you missed that sort of like, oh, but it's not Kratos, right? Like, I really want to do Kratos. But those are kind of like the decisions that you need to make as an artist and be like, okay, I know I'm not doing my favorite character, but I know that this is going to be more impactful for my portfolio. It's kind of like people who are, I don't know, learning any skill, right? Like, you might not like specific parts of the skill, but it's part of the process. No, Nishank, you do want that. You want your subsurface map to be black and white. It's a mask that controls well this stuff is working. Martin David, what's up, man? All good, my friend, all good. Let's see. What if I have one really, really good character with perfect topology, UVs, and texture? Is it worth it? Yes, Aaron. If you have like a perfect character, and we had that a couple of like months ago. I don't have the specific artist, but I think it was on July's portfolio review because I used it's this one right here, and this guy, Tuan An Ro. Let's show it. Tuan An Ro. There we go, Robert. So Robert had this one right here. Like, if you can do this level of detail and level of expertise, look at the anatomy, look at the materials, look at the hair, the armor. Like, this is top-notch stuff. Like, this is senior level stuff. Like, not everyone can get to this position like quickly. Like, if this is your only character and you show me this and you show me all of this, your hair cards, your like perfect wireframes, perfect UV sets. Like, I personally, if I only see this and you're like, and I'm hiring for character artists and I see you can do this, to me, you're hired. Like, this is what I need. This is what I want a character artist to be able to do. So, can you do that? Like, is your character at this level? Because if it is, then yeah, sure, one piece might be more than enough. But if it's not, that's where more pieces can be like, okay, maybe he missed a couple of things in anatomy here, but he made up with like cloth stuff in this other piece. So yeah, it's again, as with everything, it's a balancing stuff. Yeah, exactly. Doing new things, as Jason Player says right there. How would you work around transmission in real time, like Jello or Glass? Shaders in games, you need to do the shader in game. So in Unreal or in Marmoset, there are ways to tweak things so that they look like Glass. Yeah, that one from our good friend here, from Tuan An, really, really kick-ass stuff. Okay, and let's take a look very. Oh no, that's it, right? So yeah, Aritz, you have the skills, you have the technical knowledge. My best advice: pick a concept that has not been done before, that challenges you, of course, and do that. And another little advice that I can give you, especially if you want to be a character artist, do a female character. Females are also a good way to showcase that you have that sort of like a range. Post-production, Gotham, you do dust in post-production. You don't do them in the not all the times do you do it in the main textures.